Right, okay, third one, final one, the trusty chair drill. Okay, you've seen this probably on lots of videos where people are saying you've got to put yourself up against the chair and so on, all right, and hit balls. This is going to help you keep your posture. Yes, to a certain degree, but I'd like to see you do it a little bit different, all right? Now, one of the things that I see a lot of golfers do is they put themselves up against this chair, they sit on the chair and they stay on it. But again, remember my video, the beginning of the video where we talked about how this right hip stalls? And what we tend to see is if both my glutes are sitting on the chair, my right hip's going to stall, my left hip's going to have to come away from the chair. So I'll try and show you in this manner here. So if I'm sat on here, and you can see on the chair, if I move my pelvis away, you can see how my backside's come off the surface, okay, or the chair. And I'm going to have to then replant it back, and then my right hip comes forward and off the chair as well. So I'm going to try and make you do this a little bit differently to that. So get yourself a chair, a reasonably good height chair, or a surface of some sort that is high enough to be able to feel against your glutes, all right? And one of the things that you're going to try and do here is I would like to see it a few inches away from your rear end, all right? And the reason being for that is when I'm swinging it, I want me to push my right hip back till I can feel myself touch it. And on the forward swing, I then want to feel it stay touched on it as well. This is actually going to push me away from this feeling of moving up into the ball. All right, so you're going to put it in a position where I'm pushing back. I can feel how I've had to push back to reach for it, if that makes sense. All right, my left hip hasn't then come forward a lot. Okay, it does come a little bit round, but not as far up as there. Remember how I wanted the middle of your pelvis to stay in the center point? Well, this is helping me to do that because my spine can work backwards and that center point can stay in position and I can then join up to meet it. What I'm not doing is moving it forward, okay, the dot moving forward. I'm actually moving back to meet it. So from an address position, you can see how I'm actually pushing back to reach it, and then I'm going to push my left hip back to reach that. So again, I'm just going to make a swing back and through. I can feel how I'm pushing away and trying to get to that. That's pushing me into good posture and also holding my spine angle better. All right, it's just a good way of feeling it, and that's really what we're after here. All right, the main goal here though really is that you're feeling the right hip go back, left hip back, and that's the key thing here. But you're having to overstretch it, overdo it. Okay, so right hip back, left hip back, and I'm staying in posture there then, rather than actually coming up and into it. And that's really key, and that's a great way of doing it. We see, like I say, I see a lot of people on videos talking about having your backside up against it. No, come away from it. Be, I don't know, 3 fingers away from it, or maybe an inch or 2. That's what you're really after here. Okay, really stretch back. I can really feel my right hip staying back. All right, so back and through. You can see how I'm staying in posture here rather than coming up and into it. If I come up away from it, obviously I'm miles away from the chair. So again, a great drill to do to get that feeling. If you want to advance it a bit further, say you're having troubles with your right hip doing this, again, I've done videos on this before, but this way you can actually angle this slightly differently. And what you can do is angle the chair at a 45-degree angle from your target line. Okay, so angle it back. I'm going to put my left cheek, okay, let's call it that, onto the chair. So I'm at the back of the chair here, and I'm then going to push myself back to get that right hip to go back to meet the chair. All right, it's going to give me the feeling of going deep. Okay, so again, I'm just going to go back and through. All right, this is going to help me to get the feeling of pushing the right hip back. That's if you're having a problem with getting the right hip back. If you're getting that feeling, or you're struggling to get that feeling of that sensation, you can then place it the other way. Okay, so again, I can go 45 degrees. So that's my target line here, about a 45-degree angle here. I can put my right cheek against it, but on the forward swing, let's try and get it in the right place so I don't miss the ball. On the forward swing, I then want my left cheek to hit back the chair as well. So I'm having to reach 45-degree angles, which is generally what we used to hear as, we wanted that sort of angle to be as I hit the ball. So it's just going to help me to train. Now, I don't have to go full backswing here, because at this point here where my hips are square to the target line, I'm pretty much going to be close to my delivery position. All right, and then I'm going to push it into impact. All right, so I only have to go halfway back here. The feeling here is the feeling of the left hip pushing back. So I'm going to swing back and through. I can really feel that left hip pushing back and away, keeping me in posture as opposed to standing up and away from the ball. All right, so that's a way that you should and could use the chair, as opposed to doing the way that we've been told to do it, which is to put yourself up against it. Putting yourself up against it, it's going to create you to come forward, away from the chair, and then on the way through as well. You're never moving, you're never staying back. If you're going to sit on the chair, push it back if you have to. So that's really the key thing I want from this video, that's the key message really from the video, is get a feeling of always pushing away from the ball, or pushing away from the club. That's really the key feeling here. Really want you to get a feeling as though that you're pushing away constantly. And this should help you with any early extension issues that you have. Takes a bit of time, takes a bit of work, but the rewards will be fantastic, because you'll get great connection and great strike on the ball, and generally means that your path is pretty good as well. So really take your time in doing this. The rewards are pretty good when you do this. Give it a go and see how you get on with that drill as well.